So for those of you that were with us, we were going into the class about the kingdom being established and what will be going on. So we read Revelations 21 and 24 down to verse 26. Now we're where? What verse?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 5.
Right. So read that for me.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
Right. So there's going to be this conversion. The sea here represents the people. Go ahead. What verse you at?
Verse 5.
Go ahead.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Right. So remember, this is after the kingdom has already been delivered to Israel. Now it's talking about the Gentiles are going to be there to bring their forces, to bring their riches, to bring servants. They're going to bring the things that the things that they use to keep their cities going, the riches, the forces of the Gentiles. They're going to bring those things to our gates. Go ahead.
Verse 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee.
Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11.
Right.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually.
Right.
They shall not be shut day nor night.
Go ahead.
That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
Right.
And that their kings may be brought.
And that their what?
Kings may be brought.
Right. Their kings are going to be brought. So you wonder, like, well, what are their kings? Like, what are we going to have to do with George Trump?
George Bush.
Yeah.
Autumn Bush.
Yeah.
The double Georges.
What we got to do with the leaders and the kings? George Bush, right? George Trump, right? What do we have to do with them? Why are they bringing these leaders? Well, as we go through, we'll see. It's very important. What do you do? What do you do? What did they do to us when Antiochus Epiphanes and the Romans and the Greeks went through during the time of the Maccabees, and when they were trying to sway the people, who did they go to first? They went to the leadership and tried to have the leadership break the law so that the people can follow. As a leader of the people, so is his officers. Right? But we're not going to be having them breaking the law. They're going to be public examples. They're going to be examples of either you're going to bow or you're going to get cut down. You start with the king first and then you just go down the line, right? Right. If the king bows, then the people will bow. King's rebellious, well, he's going to get cut down, the people still going to bow. That's how that works. What verse you at? Did you finish 11?
Con.
Right, go from there, go to Isaiah 49 and verse 22.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 22.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High Power.
Right.
Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles.
Right, keep saying the Gentiles, go ahead.
And set up my standard to the people.
Go ahead.
And they shall bring thy sons in their arms.
Right.
And thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders.
Right, so they're coming to the kingdom, bringing our sons and daughters. We talked about this last class.
Yes, sir.
So they will be bringing them on chariots, on fast beasts, on wild beasts, and they'll be coming in flocks. Boats, ships of Tarshish.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's saying, look, they're going to be walking in trying to carry our sons and daughters on their shoulders into the kingdom. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Right.
And the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and the queens thy nursing mothers.
Right. Think about a nursing mother and a nursing father. Think about a nursing mother or a nurse. What is she subject to? Is it not the baby? Every time that baby cries, what she got to do? She got to feed it. She got to be there to change it, be there to take care of it. So what is it saying? That these kings, these people in high level, high stature, they're going to be brought down to a lower level where they're going to have to be in servitude to us.
Yep.
Y'all see this? Go ahead.
They shall bow down to thee with their face
I mean, see, the Gentiles made it in. They made it to the kingdom. They didn't make it into Jerusalem, but they made it to the kingdom.
They were saved.
They were saved.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gentiles got saved.
Yeah, they got saved, man. Right? Yay. We need them. We need them. Don't be like, listen, don't be like them pro-black Israelites that don't know a damn thing about the Bible, and they're like, everybody's going to be wiped out, and we're just going to be walking around in the kingdom.
Yeah.
What, serving ourselves?
Right.
We're going to be walking around the earth building it ourselves?
I'm
Hell
that.
no. Because then that will go against what the Bible says. That will go against a few scriptures that we're going to bring out. The Bible says, render unto her double that she's given unto you. He that leaveth into captivity shall be led into captivity. So what happened to those scriptures? If all the nations were just wiped out into destruction. So you see how that doesn't make sense. They're going to be there. The Most High got a purpose for them, though. He said they're going to do what?
Bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
Right? Go ahead.
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that I am the Most High.
Right. So if they're looking up the dust of your feet and bowing down, they're basically in showing themselves in servitude.
Yeah.
Right? They're giving themselves up. They've broken. They've humbled.
Con.
I'm here for you, me Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Licking the dust from the feet.
They're gonna be lit. Yeah, basically they're gonna have their face in that ground, begging for their lives. Go ahead.
For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
Right, now jump back to Revelations 21 and verse 27.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 27.
Yeah, now we all said they look at the kingdom as some fairy tale land. Yeah. Listen, heaven ain't what you were taught. Like it's some bright place in the sky. This is gonna be a physical kingdom.
Yep.
Where physical people dwell and do physical things. It's just going to be in righteousness. Now, one thing I should point out, while the Gentiles are doing these things, you got that 144,000. What do they represent? What are they going to be?
Judges.
Right, they're going to be that governing body. They're going to be that governing body, judges. They're going to be the leadership. Because there's going to be leadership in the kingdom. So that 144,000, they're going to be made up of, or the government will be made up of them. Yahweh Shai is going to be the head governor, the president, the king, right? The head senator, whatever you want to call him. And everybody else is going to fall under him. Y'all see this? So there's going to be 144,000 of the governing body. So you're asking like, well, what are they going to be governing? It's going to be all righteous. It's going to be all righteousness, right? So what is there to govern? Read Revelations 21 and verse 27.
The book of Revelation chapter 21, verse 27.
Go ahead.
And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth.
Right.
Neither whatsoever worketh abomination.
Go ahead.
Or maketh a lie.
Read.
But they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Now we read about the Lamb's book. That book was only about Israelites. The righteous Israelites. So even a wicked Israelite couldn't make it into the kingdom. So how would a nation make it into the kingdom? Well, they can't. When they come to those gates, you know how you tell what do they tell the servant? Take that through the
Alley?
no, yeah, go through the alleyway
Yeah.
with that. Like they try to do deliveries.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you take that through the service entry.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
We got a service way.
Go around the back.
Yeah, go around the back. You know what I'm saying? You ain't coming through. Go around the back, bro.
I don't want nobody seeing you.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to get in. They're going to come to those gates and we're going to take what they have and they're going to redisperse back to their lands. The Chinese going to go back to China. The Arabs going to go back to whatever parts of the Middle East they got that's left. Because a lot of that's going to be the kingdom. A lot of that Middle East is going to be us. Canaan, they're going to go right back to Africa. Hell, you go right back to Africa. You go be there. You can't go back to America. That's done unless you just want to burn. Because if you do go back to America, you're going to that lake of fire.
Kind of,
You're going to get burnt up.
some will be escorted and dropped off
Yeah.
back in America.
Yeah, some are going to be escorted and brought right back. And that time it already happened.
Oh yeah,
We
we
read
passed
about that. Valley Decision, the wilderness.
Kinda.
They were brought back into the fire. You're Australian, you're Aussie, go back to Aussie land. You're Aussie, right? Drink Foster's, go back to Australia, mate. Go, Great Britain, 007 accent, I'm whack. Go to Great Britain, go back to Spain, go back to Scotland, right? Yes, did I say Spain? See, yeah. Right? You go back to those lands, and you're going to live in those lands. Now, think about it. If we have dominion of the world, they're only going back to those lands to do a certain job. But I'm not going to give it away. Go to Joel 3:16.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 16.
Go ahead.
The Lord also shall roar out of
Go
Zion
ahead.
and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake.
Read on.
But the Lord will be the hope of his people, and the strength of the children of Yasharel.
Right, 17.
So shall ye know that I am the Most High, your power, dwelling in Zion.
Right, so the power is going to be in Zion, in that city, Jerusalem. Read.
My holy mountain. There shall Jerusalem be holy,
Come on.
and there shall no strangers pass through her.
There shall be what?
No strangers pass through her.
They're not going to get a pass, man. They're not going to be able to come through those walls. Those 12 gates with the 12 tribes. Show me where it says Ham. Because you're going to enter in the gate where what your tribe is. You're going to know your tribe, for real then. You're going to really, I'm Ephraim, well, I'm really Ephraim. I'm this, I'm really that. You're going to know. It's going to be told. You're going to walk through this gate. It's showing you that there's order and structure. And to get into the kingdom, you're going to go in through your tribes. You're going to be set up by our tribes. Just like it was set up way back in the wilderness with Moses. Right? So the things on earth are a pattern of the things in the heavens.
Yes, sir.
You see that? So all this is a pattern of what already happened in a before time. But show me the gate for Cush. Or where's the gate for Esau? Where's the gate for
this is a gate for Esau.
which
It's
one?
It's the lake of fire. It's the
Yeah,
gate
lake
to
of
the lake
fire.
of
The gate of fire.
The gate of fire.
But there's no gate for these nations to come into the kingdom because it's no longer their time to do what we're gonna be doing. Y'all get this, right? So it says, there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Revelations 21 and verse. Oh no, we read that already, right? Revelations 21 and 27. So we know they're going to be bringing things to the walls, to the gates, but they're not going to be able to enter. So, what are they going to be doing? Well, let's go to Amos 9 and verse 11. They're going to redisperse back to their lands, man. And they're going to rebuild all the things that were destroyed. All the things that were destroyed, they're going to rebuild.
Okay.
The outer walls, the outer cities, they're called the waste cities. They're gonna build that. For who? For us. For us. Watch, read.
The book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David,
Right.
that is fallen,
Read.
and close up the branches thereof, and close up the breaches thereof.
Go ahead.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old,
Now read on, 12.
that they may possess the remnants of
We're
Edom.
gonna do what?
Possess the remnant of Edom.
Now when you possess something, that's yours. You can say, this is what I'm gonna do with this or that. So we're gonna possess the remnant, whatever is left of Edom, we're gonna possess that. Go ahead.
And of all the heathen.
And of what?
And of all the heathen.
So when it says they're going to walk in the light thereof, when we possess them, they're not going to go back to Africa and continue to do the blood rituals. They don't get to go back to India and worship cows or worship what's the one Shiva? What's that?
Want arms?
There's not going to be any like secret groves anywhere.
There's not going to be any of that. They don't get to go back and worship Shiva, worship cows. The Chinese don't get to go back and eat bats. Wuhan, you get to go back and eat bats and cats. You don't get to go to Australia and eat kangaroo meat because now they're going to have to walk in the wisdom, the law. You don't get to go back and do all the just think about all the different things the nations do. It's so much. It's so much things against the law that they do. They don't get to go back and do that.
Yeah, marry your sister.
Yeah,
your mother.
Circumcising women, getting pee showers from cows, drinking blood, all that stuff that they do. That now we partake in. That stuff is going to be cut off. Go ahead.
Which are called by my name.
Right.
Said the Lord that.
He said the heathen are what?
Which are called by my name.
Woo, that's crazy, right? He said even the heathen are going to be called by his name. Because what's a good slave if the slave, remember, a slave is going to represent you.
Have the last name?
So you're going to have something to know that that's your slave.
Oh, Randy.
So what's an out of order slave? A dead man. Or a dead woman. Read.
Saith the Lord that doeth this.
Right, Krishna. Yeah, Henny Krishna. Right? Running around, you got them cats out there in India, they smoke blunts all day and sleep on dead bodies. Yeah, they got like the long dreadlocks, they just sit there, smoke weed and live on skeletons and eat food out of skeleton heads.
Oh yeah.
That's their spirituality. That's all gonna be cut off.
God.
Righteousness is gonna be throughout the land. Finish it up.
Verse 13. Behold, the days come, said the Lord,
Right.
that the plowman shall overtake the reaper,
Right.
and the treader of the grapes him that soweth seed.
Right.
And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Verse 14 is the point. Read.
And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Yasharallah.
Right, so we'll be out of captivity. Go ahead.
And they shall build the waste cities,
Right.
and inhabit them.
Yeah, you see it, the waste cities and inhabit them. So think about it. Like I always talk about. Like I'm gonna just pick Greece. Give me a few islands out there in Greece. A couple, 4 or 5 of those nice little islands.
Yeah.
Y'all seen, if you ever get a chance, just go look up Greece.
Mediterranean
The
life.
Mediterranean. Listen, some beautiful, beautiful scenery out there.
Even right now, today, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, blue waters.
They got that island that the rich people go to now.
Which one? Because they all look rich.
That's-
You got Paphos, you still got Paphos out there. You got Santorini. You got there's a few islands. There's like 100 islands out there.
Yeah, I think you were telling me or thought one. It's like an exclusive island that billionaires go to.
I mean, bro, imagine just sailing, sailing the Mediterranean is a thing. Hopping in your yacht and living on the Mediterranean for, a year. That's a thing. People do that.
Wow.
Because you just island hop. Boom, one island to the next, one island to the next. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That's where I want to go. What's that?
Priest, ain't that our original land though? From
Greece.
the Mediterranean.
Yeah, well, the Mediterranean. Yeah.
Iraq.
Yeah, Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be from the Euphrates to the Mediterranean. That's like the land of from the test. You read that from the test.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Judah. It's just saying that Judah is everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even pictures of Iraq. I didn't know Iraq looked like that. I mean, Iraq is kind of
Iraq?
places in Iraq that's really
Like-
beautiful.
Iraq, Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
Turkey. These places are beautiful just off the structures that they've already built. But just the scenery alone is beautiful. Yeah. They're beautiful places. They make you think it's a bunch of sand dunes and camels. Nah. It's not all about that. They got some real nice, beautiful scenery, and Saudi Arabia is real nice. Turkey, very, very nice. So it says we're going to.
Oh, that we've been to Greece.
Has he? Yeah, I've been to Greece. Yeah, Greece is, but you got Greece and then you got the Mediterranean islands.
Yeah.
See that? You got Greece, which is one place, and then you got all the islands off the coast of Greece. There's a lot of them. They're nice. They're beautiful. So imagine having 4 or 5 of those to your disposal. To your disposal. And I want 5 islands off the coast. But guess what? You servants are gonna keep the island. Meaning, you're not gonna live there and kick it and do all that. You're going to be, like when you watched any show where it got a rich white dude and he's at his house and he got the gardeners doing gardening. He got like all the workers out there working at the same time. The gardener, he got the pool man, he got the window washer. That's what they're gonna be doing.
The maid, someone bringing his iced tea to him.
Yeah, he's just sitting back at the pool, right? Catching a tan. That's what we're gonna be doing. You're gonna be catching a tan. And they're gonna serve you. They're gonna build up these outer areas that have been destroyed from the destruction. What's that?
When my rib and I, when we were in Maine, speaking on the islands, right? You're speaking of Greece, you're speaking of the islands. There's Greece, but then there's the Mediterranean islands. When we were in Maine, Maine is the oldest and widest state of the Union, of the whole nation, right? So there's a particular place where we went to where we were on the pier, and we could see all these mini islands of houses and boats and stuff like that. We're just like,
that's Nantucket.
I mean, there.
That's Nantucket.
Yeah. So, and what you're saying too is like, okay, Greece and the islands. You were like, oh, when we was in Maine, in my mind, I never brought it up, but in my mind, it's like, damn, I want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to have my own little private little,
but that's what I'm saying.
a little acre on the ocean, in the middle of the ocean.
Bruh, come on. But you're gonna have more than that.
Come on.
You're gonna have more than that.
I will be your neighbor, priest. I already said it. Put that in the
There it
script,
is. There it is. Well, we can share a few islands. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. But that's what it's gonna be. We're gonna remember, Jerusalem is the city. Not everybody's gonna live in Jerusalem. You're gonna have the world at your disposal. Imagine having a whole country. Imagine having like your land. Imagine when things get dished out and it's like, man, for the fight you put in before the destruction, you get the whole land of Egypt. What would you even, come on, what would you even do with that? You get the whole land of Egypt, or you get the whole northwestern coast of Africa. Or look, you get South Africa. That's all you. That's for you and your generations. I mean, bruh, who else is gonna care for that land? I don't want to see lion poop everywhere, and dog poop, and animal poo everywhere. Nah, clean that up. They're gonna be our possession, right? So, where we at? Read on.
Verse 14. They shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof.
Right. We're not going to plant the vineyards. We're going to be at rest. The Bible said we will be at rest. Find me that one. I don't think I have it in here. We're going to be at rest. So I don't want to plant no vineyard. We did that already. They're going to plant the vineyards. They're going to till the fields. They're going to be the ones working, the nations, the heathen. Go ahead.
They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Right. That's it. Go from there. Go to Ezekiel 36 and 38.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 38.
Verse 33.
Verse 33. Thus saith the Most High our power.
Right.
In the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the city.
Go ahead.
And the wastes shall be builded.
Right, the waste is going to be building. Read on.
And the desolate land shall be tilled.
Who's going to till that land? Well, remember when America was a wasteland and it needed to be tilled and built? Who did that? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. We built this country. And guess what? No matter where we were, we built that land. Not for ourselves, because even a lot of the Mexicans in Mexico, they didn't build that land for themselves. That's Esau land. You see that? So a lot of Ephraim, Manasseh, They built that land up, but they didn't build it up for themselves. They built up White Houses to go live in shacks. The roles are going to be reversed. Read what verse you at.
Verse 34.
Right?
The desolate land shall be tilled,
Come on.
whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by.
Go ahead.
And they shall say, this land that was desolate
Right?
is become like the Garden of Eden.
Think about that. They're going to have to rebuild it so nice. It's going to be like the Garden of Eden. That's what the whole world is going to be like. Jerusalem is going to be that golden city at the center of the world. And the rest of the world is going to be like the Garden of Eden. Now, I don't know if y'all remember about the Garden of Eden. What did it say? When you pick fruit, there was an innumerable amount of fruit.
Yeah.
And there was this and there was that. But it's not going to be to that level because they're going to have to continue to work. They're going to have to continue to till the ground. And think about it. You think we're going to be sitting in the kingdom eating GMO? You think we're going to be in the kingdom eating processed foods? No, we're not. We're going to be eating farm fresh, farm raised, fresh kill. Hey, servant, go dress that lamb. Who the hell you think is going to be fixing up and dressing up Passover lambs? I mean, I don't want to kill no lamb. I don't want to sit there and do all that, cutting out entrails, burning off skin. I don't want to do that. I mean, come on, it's our feast. Who do you think is going to be doing these things? Hit servant, dress that lamb, till that ground, and clean these houses, mow that lawn, right? Brothers always talk about cotton fields. It may go back to that. I might just have one just on purpose.
Just because?
Yeah.
On GP?
On GP. If you get a cotton field, bro, if anybody never ever understood about picking cotton, if you never understood about picking cotton, please go research picking cotton. Where the cotton plant is prickly.
Yeah, man.
You dive into that cotton and you busting up your fingers. Bleeding everywhere. You gotta fill up sacks. That's how they made us do it. And if you was able to walk and pick, it didn't matter what age you were. 3 years old out there, they had pictures of 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 90-year-olds out there picking cotton. So guess what? I want them to marry, have all the kids they can. There's gonna be more work. They're gonna be put through the same things, man. Just we ain't gonna be breaking bucks and doing all that weird stuff. There's not gonna be no need. So they're gonna walk in wisdom. The wisdom is you do it or you die. And a lot of them still gonna be whack as hell. They ain't gonna want to die because the kingdom is gonna be so glorious. They're just gonna want to be there in the presence thereof. That's how nice it is. Listen, it said it's gonna be like the Garden of Eden. I mean, damn, that's paradise. That's paradise. So who don't want to be there? But see, this is their salvation to build up the things necessary for us to live. And they get to, the dog gets some crumbs off the table, right? Every trash can get a steak, right? Every trash can get a steak, man. I mean, right? So that's going to be their salvation. Where you at?
Verse 35, second precept.
Right?
And the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited.
Right?
Verse 36. Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I, the Lord, build the ruined places.
Right, because is the Lord going to come down and build a ruin? Like Yahushua himself is going to leave about the kingdom and start building? No. He's going to put the spirit on us, and then we're going to be the ruler, the dominions of the earth. We're going to have dominion over the earth, and we're going to have them in subjection to us. Go fear not them, sir. I think I already went here. Yeah. Yeah.
So at this time, when this
Do me a
is
favor.
taking place, is this at a time when the 2/3 have already been
Destroyed. Yeah.
So it's just those that followed, what would it be,
Just the 1/3,
just the 1/3?
the 144,000 of the nations that are left.
Okay, and then those of the nations that submitted or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep, that's it. And we're gonna get into the 2/3.
Okay,
We're gonna get into that.
sorry, I didn't.
No, you're fine. You're fine. What verse you at?
Verse 36.
Go ahead.
Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I, the Lord, build the ruined places and plant that was desolate.
Right? You're gonna go to verse 38. Go ahead.
I, the Lord, have spoken it, and I will do it. Thus saith the Lord God, I will yet, for this be inquired of by the house of Yasharallah,
Right?
to do it for them.
Go ahead.
I will increase them with men
Right?
like a flock.
See, so now I read down to here because he said he's going to increase us. Right? That 1/3 is going to be increased. So as we read on, we're going to understand how that's going to happen. Read verse 38.
As the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem
Go ahead.
in her solemn feast.
Right, so imagine Jerusalem in her solemn feast. All the men, all the families. Imagine when in the time of Christ, when all of Israel would go up to they would leave where they were at and they would go celebrate the Passover. All the Israelites. The scriptures are saying that in the time of the kingdom, the streets of the outer cities is going to be filled like it was as if it was Jerusalem in the time of a feast day. You see that? So we're going to be dwelling and occupying these cities. Go ahead, read on.
So shall the waste cities
Right.
be filled with flocks of men,
Read.
and they shall know that I am the Most High.
Right. So again, imagine your inheritance now is a country. Is a whole country. You get you get Italy. That's yours. You get Italy, right? You get the outer countries. You get Scotland, right? That's for you and you and your people.
Your tribe.
You and your tribe. Your tribe to come.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It says a small one should become a nation.
Yeah.
So don't you get a nation-sized land to be able to house all those people?
All right.
Yeah.
All your people.
Yeah. Imagine getting thousands of acres. Here goes 5,000 acres. Here goes enough land as the eye can see. That's yours. Do whatever you want with it. Build whatever you want on there. You gotta be righteous. But do whatever you want. Here goes 5,000 for you, 5,000 for you. It's like Oprah. You get 5,000. You get 5,000. You get 5,000 acres. You get 5,000 acres. And look, do whatever you want. Right? Build you a castle. Well, find you an engineer, right, from the heathen that can build, and get them to build you a castle. Or I might have one of my slaves might be an engineer. You need something built? Oh yeah, here, look, I'll loan them out to you. Come on, no problem. You got a cook, or you got this, or you got that. You got a good gardener? Yeah, trading them off like baseball cards. That's what they did to us, right?
Yes.
Did they trade us? And said they traded us for harlots and wine.
Yes.
You see that? Go ahead.
You know when you're saying this, you're making me think about all these doomsday movies, and these doomsday movies, when they know that the destruction is coming, who gets saved? The doctors, the lawyers,
Just
the
like
architects.
Greenland. Just
Yeah,
the
like
movie
Greenland.
They put a bunker in Greenland, and oh boy, Gerard Butler, he was an engineer.
Okay, yeah, he was an engineer.
He built skyscrapers, but they needed him. He was like the best. So they were like, okay, if we need to rebuild, we need one of the best engineers. Oh boy, the black dude that he was talking to, he was like, yeah, my mom, she's a doctor.
Uh-huh.
So they say doctors, lawyers, engineers. They're probably gonna be all nestled together, ready for us to say, come serve.
Come hither.
We ain't gonna need their doctorship though. We ain't gonna need that.
There's that movie, The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
Bobby Flay. The what?
The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
I want Gordon Ramsay. Go ahead.
And there's this one scene where the little boy, the main character with the little boy, was in the kitchen, and there was this Jewish guy peeling potatoes, And then the little boy just looked at him, because he's just there, potatoes, like hundreds of potatoes around him, getting them nice and peeled down. And the little boy asked him a question. He's like, did you always want to be a potato peeler? And then he stopped peeling potatoes and he looked at the little boy in the eye. He says, where I was from, I was a doctor.
See? And even that. You was a doctor in this world, you the potato peeler in the next. Shuck them peas, right? You're gonna be shucking them peas, right? You're gonna be skinning them carrots, right? You're gonna be doing all that.
Peeling grapes.
Yeah, damn.
That's tedious.
Wow.
That's tedious right here.
You said peeling grapes? Damn, that's mean, bro. That's very tedious.
I don't know, we might have them big grapes again.
Right, we might. You ever try to peel a grape?
Yeah.
I have.
The skin comes off easy, but damn, it's a grape.
Yeah, you get one little strip and like,
Yeah. Yes. Hey, put them through servitude, man. All right, what verse you at? Go to Psalms.
There's that movie, Toy Story 2,
Uh-huh.
right? Where that one guy's fixing Woody's arm. So he puts out all these little gadgets to, like little needles and magnifying glass and thread and to peel grapes. I'm gonna give the little guy some like high intensified glasses.
Yeah, good
Little nice little like tweezers just to
Yeah.
like, I need 100 grapes done in 10 minutes. Get to work.
songs.
Psalms 2 and 8. You guys are mean.
The book of
No,
Psalms.
Actually, y'all are nice. You have to peel them with their fingers. That's just gonna be for the dogs.
Grapes
The
for the
grapes
dog.
is just gonna be for the animals. Yeah. Peel the grapes for the little animals. You're gonna be peeling grapes for animals. They're gonna be at the lowest level, these heathen. Animals gonna have better rights.
Oh yeah.
Same way they did to us, bro.
Like now.
My dog is gonna have more rights than them.
Well,
They're gonna hate the dog because they're gonna have to do wash the dog, clean the dog poop, everything. Train the dog. Dogs. What's that?
when you know that sign, no dogs, no Mexicans, no Negroes.
Yeah.
The first one to pass was dogs
No. Yeah. No.
to enter
Yeah.
into specific
It's a
places.
different, yeah. Oh, as a service dog, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Even a service Negro couldn't get in certain stores back in the day.
No.
No Negroes allowed. You have to sit outside and let your master go in and do his thing. Way back in slavery. So, read Psalms 2 and 8, man.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 8.
Right?
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen
Right?
for thine inheritance.
That's going to be part of your inheritance, the heathen. And their land. And total control over them. Go ahead.
And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
I mean, come on. So you see, we're not just going to all be just nestled up in Jerusalem. You might have your little spot there too. You might have your spot in the walls. You definitely, and you'll be free to come and go. But imagine having just a house on this island and on this country and on this place you never ever thought you would live in. I'm moving to Greenland. What's that?
Do you think that when we come together for like the high holy days and stuff, we're gonna have to like gather in one place, or?
Yeah, that's what the city's gonna be for. That's what the city's gonna be for, to come and worship. It's gonna tell us. That's what that city is gonna. But now you understand the dimensions.
Right.
Why it has to be so big?
Right.
Because Israel when all Israel comes back in the full power.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We ain't gonna be able to fit in something rinky dink. We ain't gonna be able to fit in something like, oh, everybody just come sit at the school. Nah. Hell no, we gonna need something fitting for us to be able to fit in. So what it's telling us, we're gonna possess the heathen and the land round about the kingdom. This is beautiful for me. This is beautiful for me. I just want to have land in like all 7 continents. So I could just dip over here, go experience this, do all the things that Esau and the white people was doing that we couldn't do.
Yeah, man.
Man, Master's always on ski vacations. He's always at the resort. Damn right. He's always at the resort. I'm gonna make him call me Master with that southern accent.
Massa?
Master. With a southern accent. I don't care where you from.
Like that grocery store in Trinidad? Massey's?
Massey's. I see. Go ahead, read.
Verse 9.
No, go to Obadiah 1:15. Obadiah 1:15. So we're going through showing that in the kingdom, the nations are going to be there as our servants. The land round about the kingdom, the new Jerusalem that's been hand delivered out the sky is going to be ours. Read Obadiah 1:15.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 15.
Yeah, Paula Dean ain't for hire. I don't like her. I don't think I like her cooking. I don't think it looks appealing. Paula Dean, nah, I ain't rocking. I'm gonna rock with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And I might take Rachel Ray. You know what I'm saying? I might take Rachel Ray. She made EVOO, the phrase. She made that phrase like popular. Extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. She like she could cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Right?
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
As they have done to us, it's going to be done to them, but in righteousness. Remember, we ain't going to be raping no man and doing all that stuff. We ain't going to have to do that. You don't want to follow, you just die. Go ahead.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Read.
For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain,
Right, which is Israel. Read.
so shall all the heathen drink continually.
Read on.
Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Right, it's going to be as if they're nobodies. Ooh. Who's that? Oh, this is a slave. Oh, that look like Trump. Oh, no. Just a cook. Just a busboy, right? You just a gardener. You just a driver. They're nothing now. Go ahead.
Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Right. We're going to be delivered from our condition of death and anguish and sorrow and pain. The nations ain't in sorrow and pain. They're not in servitude. They're not in perils of death daily, wondering when their next meal and are they going to make it through the night? Or can they drive from down the block before they get shot? They're not thinking about that. They don't think about those things. They're going to have to. Go ahead.
And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession.
You see that? We're going to possess whatever they possess, whatever lands, that's going to be us. We's. I'm trying to tell y'all. Man, bro. Sometimes it's like unfathomable in my mind to be able to just imagine having 4 houses, but in 4 countries. On purpose. And you ain't sitting there like trying to juggle rent money like, oh my God, how am I going to make it? It's just yours. Given by the Lord. Just imagine that. Like, yeah, I'm about to, listen, I'm going to be over here, hanging out over here. Take the family over here. Take the family over here. Let's go see stuff we ain't never seen before. I mean, Esau does it, right? They hop in private jets and take their family all over the damn place.
Right. It's like living effortlessly.
Yeah.
Just being able to just not even concern yourself with how, why, when, where. Just
I mean, damn. Like,
in righteousness.
Again, I was talking about this with Zion about Arcadian rhythm and being able to rise with the sun.
Yeah.
Sleep with the sun. That's a real thing. It does something to your body, and just being in that sync, and just imagine going to bed, waking up feeling refreshed, having a nice little chill day, right? You kids, Rib, you ain't got to stress over like nothing. You ain't got to stress over money. You ain't got to stress over this bill, that bill. You ain't got to stress over anything.
No contention, no arguing,
None.
no fightings, nobody sick, no bloodshed. Like, it's just, everything is as it should be.
Wake up, set up your prayers, thank the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And then you just drink, chill, eat, kick it, talk, reminisce, go to sleep. Imagine waking up. You know what I be looking at? Little babies, they got those real fresh whites of their eyes.
Yeah.
I look at my son's eyes, I'm like, damn, them things they're like white paper. And I look at mine, I'm like, oh.
It's like, you got like a
I need some
little brown,
sleep.
yellowy.
They got like a yellow tint. I'm like, oh. That's all that pain and anguish and that just is life. But imagine the whites of your eyes go back to that bright white.
Yeah.
When you just look refreshed, they look at you like, damn, this dude look like he just been chilling. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a dude. I used to follow him on Instagram and on Snapchat. This dude, he would always be on some kind of yacht. If he on some kind of yacht, he got like 7 ribs. It's his ribs. They always the same women. They always with him, rolling on the yacht, and they're going to different places, doing all these great things and expensive hotels, expensive different beaches and stuff like that. I'm like, man, this dude just lives it up. He shows all the nice food he eats. He can eat bad food but still have 6-pack abs. I'm like, damn.
Come on.
He's like, I'm like, this dude's in the kingdom right now. He's living it up.
All that.
Uh-huh.
Just you in shape.
In shape.
Everything you eat is pure.
You know, it's like, me and another bro was talking about this dude. He was like, man, you know this dude always got all his ribs with him everywhere he goes. I'm like, yeah, I noticed that, Con. And they're like always at some tropical location.
And they're always in order.
They're always in order. Nobody, it's like everybody just gets along with each other. And he does his thing, they do their thing, they do their things together. I'm like, those guys just living a life.
How I wish.
With 6-pack abs.
Yeah, eating all cheesecakes and all that stuff. He got 6-packs.
God.
Yeah, man.
He's in the kingdom, bro.
Yeah, he's in his kingdom. They're in their
kingdom.
kingdom. And it's going to be that, but so much more for us. You know, we sitting there talking about things that we can conceptualize. It's going to be way more than just some damn land and telling a person what to do for you.
Yeah, just in you saying that, I was just thinking, like, it might be like effortless living for him, but I'm pretty sure that he doesn't ever want to die.
Right.
He can't stop that.
Nope.
Right.
You know?
So he worries about that.
Exactly. He's gotta, because he has so much and he displays it, he has to have protection around him all the time, because I'm pretty sure people will love to knock him off to take what he has. So I know for us, we won't have to worry about that at all. We don't have to, that don't even be a forethought.
Nope. What's that?
There's even those movies that show the Edomite immortal who he's living so long that he wants to die.
Yeah, because even that's anguish. Because why? They're living in sin. They're living in wickedness. And after a while, that is a spoil on your spirit. It wears you down. So yeah, we ain't have to worry about all that. Go to Psalms 149. Let's get through some of this.
The book of Psalms chapter 149 verse 5.
Right?
Let the saints be joyful in glory.
Right?
Let them sing aloud upon their
Go
beds.
ahead.
Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth.
Read.
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
Go ahead.
To execute vengeance upon the
Go
heathen.
ahead.
And punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Right?
To execute upon them
Yeah,
the judgment written.
Right. It says to bind their kings with chains, nobles with fetters of iron. You see that? To execute upon them the judgment written. That way I'd ask, will we remember our previous lives? Yeah. What else you gonna tell your children? What else? What? Those are gonna be the stories you sit around the campfire, and it's like, man, I remember being delivered. I remember being delivered out of Babylon. And then when they're like, no, that's not, and you just point right over to the west, and that smoke gonna be burning. Like, no, look, the proof is there. How else are you gonna know what that stands for if you don't remember what happened? Me and you talked about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Of course you're gonna remember. You know, when it says the former things have passed, meaning you're not gonna be doing those former things, but there will be a reminder and a remembrance. Because then what's the reminder for? Like, oh man, there's some smoke over there. What's that for? I forgot. Well, no, you're gonna know. You're gonna remember. You're gonna have a story to tell your family, your generations, that it's gonna just keep going. What's that, Derek?
Priest, isn't it a scripture? I heard a scripture on talking about it's not wicked to like think of to meditate on the destruction, like how we talk about, you know, how we want to see this happen and that happen to, like, you know, the nation that do the things they did to us, like
Right.
getting, you know, like revenging and
Right.
it's like just meditating on destruction.
Well,
It's-
again,
it's
we don't meditate. Like, I don't sit here and just occupy myself in the destruction of, in what the inevitable is already,
Yeah.
right? But watch.
But you know the thoughts that you know you can have. Say, well, it's not like it's not wicked to think those things.
Well, let's just add this one in here real quick. I was gonna go here. Just since you asked the question, go to Revelations 13 and verse 10.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 10.
Go ahead. No,
He-
read verse 9.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity
Right.
shall go into captivity.
Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword
Right.
must be killed with the sword.
Read on.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
It said this is the patience and the faith. The patience is what? Well, let me do the things to get to this point. The faith is that it's going to happen. Now, do we consume ourselves with? Think about it. What's the point of consuming yourself with putting the nations in slavery when, first of all, you got to make it into the kingdom to even have a slave? You see what I'm saying? So you don't consume yourself with the thought of having slaves before you do that, the things that are needed for you to even get to the place where you can have a slave. You see that? So you first got to occupy your mind with, how do I get there? How do I get saved?
Yes.
And then you let the slavery handle itself. That's going to be there. That's going to be there, but the first part has to happen. Let me get there. Be not curious how the righteous will be punished and when, but be more concerned about how the righteous will be saved. Mm-hmm. So the thought is, we know that this is the patience and the faith is that this is going to happen. All the things we're going through is going to happen. But do I wake up every day, Yahweh, give me slaves? No. But I definitely ask for him to destroy Babylon. Hell yeah. Destroy this wicked kingdom.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Or else, then, really, if you're not asking for it to be destroyed, then with the Most High, you're either hot or cold. So if you don't want it to be destroyed, that means that you want it to keep rolling. Right? So we don't want this place to keep rolling. We want it to be destroyed so we can get up out of here.
I was gonna say we pray for peace. We want the peace on earth. We want it to be restored to that peaceful
Right.
condition that it was originally. That can't happen if the wicked are still running about and so on and so forth.
Right. It definitely can't happen.
I definitely pray for peace, so I know that destruction has.
And how is that going to come? It got to come through the destruction of this place. Right. And I'm going to go here to this Jeremiah. But yeah, I mean, just for Dawiyah, you can go there. Go to Jeremiah 16 and 14.
Jeremiah.
Of, do we remember the old lives? Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14.
Yeah, those that are delivered into the kingdom and didn't die in the destruction. You're gonna remember that. That's gonna be etched in your brain forever. Go ahead.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah
Right.
from the land of the north.
That's what's gonna be said for generations. He brought us out the north country. Go ahead.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them.
Go ahead.
And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. So jump back to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah 14 and verse 1.
The book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1.
Right, so all these scriptures are showing that the nations, the heathen, they're going to be our servants and our slaves. They're going to be our possession. Just like how they possess us now, because they still do, believe it or not, roles are going to be reversed. Read Isaiah 14 and 1.
The book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Right?
And will yet choose Yasharallah.
He's going to choose Israel. Read.
And set them in their own land.
Right, so we're going to have our lands. Go ahead.
And the stranger shall be joined with them.
The stranger's going to be where we at. Go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Read.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Right.
And the house of Yasharallah shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Yeah, we're going to have White Friday. Not Black Friday. It's going to be White Friday. Line them up and pick them out. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives.
Right.
Whose captives they were.
Read.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Verse 3.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest.
Right.
From thy
You're
sorrow.
going to be at rest.
Yeah.
Why else do you need a servant? So you can rest. You're going to have rest from your sorrows and from all that hard work, busting them knees and elbows, that grind. Now I got to be on the grind. I got to be on the slave ship. Nah, bro, that's over. Nah, sis, that's over. Go ahead.
And from thy fear.
Right.
And from the hard bondage.
And from the what?
And from the hard bondage.
And hard work from Egypt. Go ahead.
Wherein thou was made to serve.
Right. You see that? What's that?
Okay, so in the kingdom, Israel, the 1/3, will be perfect.
Time.
Will the strangers also experience perfection, or will they be, like, will they have to multiply so that their children will also grow up and be our servants as well, like we do?
Well, the scriptures don't talk about them being twinkled. That's us.
Okay.
So they're going to have to follow the law. They're going to have to walk in the wisdom. You see that? So it doesn't talk, that's why they can't come in though. It says nothing that defile, that lies, that this, that.
Right.
Because that's going to be them. But they're going to be in check. You see that? They're going to be in check.
But they'll die.
Yeah, of course. That's how Esau's gonna end up being wiped out completely. They're not gonna have the chance to repopulate. You see that? So they're gonna just be, so the remnant of Esau that's slaves, after they serve out their slavery, they're gonna die off. However that may be. But yeah, they're gonna die off. So they definitely gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna show you. There's gonna be death in this kingdom. Remember, it's physical.
Right.
So there's definitely going to be death in the kingdom. Go to Isaiah 60 and 14.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60 verse 14.
Right. We might go a little bit over because, yeah. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
The sons also of them that afflicted thee
Right.
shall come bending unto thee.
Yeah, here they come again. Bending the knee. I'm going to bend the knee. You had all them old Byzantine era movies, bend the knee, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet.
Go ahead.
And they shall call thee the city of the Lord,
Right.
the Zion of the Holy One of Yasharallah.
Right. Jeremiah 30 and 18.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 18.
Now, go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents,
Right.
and have mercy on his dwelling places.
Go ahead.
And the city shall be builded upon her own heap.
Go ahead. So that New Jerusalem is going to be builded. Boom. Right there. Go ahead.
And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof.
Read on.
And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry.
Right, so now we're transitioning into the 2/3 being brought back through regeneration. Because that's what's going to happen. The 2/3, they're going to be brought back. Read on.
And I will multiply
He
them.
said, I will do what?
Multiply them.
Right, so is he just going to pop us out the air? Bloop, 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 bloop. Like all of a sudden, there was somebody there and they weren't full grown? A man just appears into the kingdom full grown? No, that's fictional. That's fictional, that's comic book, that's sorcery. It's not going to happen like that. Read.
And they shall not be few.
Right?
Oh.
He said we won't be few. So that 1/3 number is going to spike all the way up. Go ahead.
I will also glorify them.
Right?
And they shall not be small.
Right. So the 1/3 is going to be a small remnant of people that's going to blow up into a multitude of people. How? Well, let's deal with this real quick. Go to Isaiah 45:17. Somebody else give me Romans 11 and verse 26. Read.
Isaiah chapter 45 verse 17.
Go ahead.
But Yasharallah shall be saved in the Lord.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Go ahead.
With an everlasting salvation.
Go ahead.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded.
Right?
World without end.
Right. So he called us the world without end. Now, if people weren't coming back, that means that when people died off, there would be an end to that people. Read Romans 11 and verse 26. Yeah, there's no immaculate conception. Oh, man, oh, you pregnant? How'd that happen? Oh, I don't know. The angel came and touched me. Now you're pregnant? Hell no. That ain't happening, man. It's not going to be no spooky fairy tale stuff. Read Romans 11:26.
Romans chapter 11 verse 26.
Right?
And so all Yasharallah,
And wait, some?
all Yasharallah
Right, he said, all Israel, read,
shall be saved,
read,
as it is written,
right?
there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
Right, so why did I go to Romans? To show, it said all Israel will be saved. Right? But all Israel won't be delivered in the time of deliverance because 2/3 is going to die. So how is all Israel going to be saved or attain salvation? Well, the ones that died, how are they going to get back in the kingdom? What's that?
They gotta be reborn.
They got to be reborn physically through physical sexual intercourse, like human sex has to happen. I mean, it has to happen, right?
I like it has to be human sex.
Right.
Like this is
Not immaculate angel sex, right?
biological.
DNA has to be moved around, and an egg has to be impregnated, and that's that. What's that?
So those spirits will come back in the regeneration
Right?
through those of us that make it,
Right?
and we have children. So
Yep.
we'll be having children, those spirits will come back. But those spirits, when they come back, they're not going to be like the wicked spirits they were in the world, because that's why they died in the first place, right?
Right. Remember, the scriptures say, it says, your children shall be taught of the Lord.
Okay.
So, if there's no wickedness that Israel's going to be doing, all your kids are going to know is righteousness.
Okay, got it.
You see that? Think about a newborn, brand new baby
Fine.
that's popped in, even into this world. It's pure, tender, and holy until what? It learns wickedness.
Right.
Right? It goes terrible 2s, terrible 3s, wicked 5s, but they're learning wickedness. They're not being taught the right thing. So in the kingdom, when the kingdom is established, wherever an Israelite is, there's not going to be no, let me go dip off and eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. Let me, Christmas, that's coming up. We remember Christmas. That was so fun. It's not going to be in you. It's not going to be in the 1/3 that makes it. So now what are they going to do? It's going to be just a constant teaching of righteousness. And then the kids' kids and the kids' kids. It's just going to be righteous. It says, thy people shall be righteous. Thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and thy people shall be all righteous. That's in, I think I have it here. We're going to go to it. Read Ezekiel 36 and verse 8. Somebody else get Zechariah 8 and 3. So Ezekiel 36 and verse 8. You're going to go to verse 11.
Ezekiel
Right.
chapter 36 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
But ye O mountains of Israel,
Right.
ye shall shoot forth your branches,
Right.
and yield your fruit to my people of Israel.
Right.
For they are at hand to come.
Israel is at hand to come. So once we come, once we're delivered into this kingdom, what's going to happen? Go ahead.
For behold, I am for you,
Go ahead.
and I will turn unto you,
Read.
and ye shall be tilled and sown.
He said, "You shall be what?"
Tilled and
He's
sown.
talking about the people. They shall be tilled and sown. What do you do with a seed? Why do you put a seed in the ground?
To make it grow, to
Right.
produce.
Right. So he's now equating us to a seed being tilled and sown. Go ahead. Watch. It's gonna break it down more. Go ahead.
And I will multiply man upon
I
you.
will do what?
Multiply man upon you.
How is man gonna get multiplied? Go ahead.
All the houses of Israel,
Right.
even all of it.
Read.
And the cities shall be inhabited,
Come on.
and the waste shall be built.
Check this in. Way shall be built in verse 11.
And I will multiply upon you man and beast.
Man and what?
Man and beast.
So even the animals are gonna be given. Like how else? What are we gonna eat? When we gotta serve the Passover, what we gonna eat? When we gotta do Feast of Tabernacles, what we gonna eat?
We're not having no 4 or 5 lambs. We're having hundreds,
Yeah.
thousands.
Like what y'all gonna eat in the kingdom? You answer your own.
But it was, when you said the beast, it just made me think, so there won't be any reproduction of any unclean animal there, is that correct?
Basically, no, not in our kingdom. No, there will be a reproduction of unclean animals.
Okay,
We just won't be dealing with them. Remember, everything has its function. How is the earth
okay.
gonna go back to that ebb and flow, that clean,
Right.
crystal clear water? The oceans are gonna replenish all them shrimps, right? All that shrimp scampi niggas been eating back in the ocean. All them crabs, they're gonna do what oysters.
Yes.
The pigs are gonna be able to roam and do what they do. And they're gonna be prey for lions. And everything's gonna go back to the beautiful remember, the Garden of Eden,
Yeah, okay.
right? It's gonna go back to that,
Yes.
where things are gonna go back to its function. You see that? So yeah, the unclean animals will reproduce. But it'll be this beautiful ecosystem where you won't have too much of this animal overtaking this animal. If there's too much shrimps, listen, there's gonna be a whale to swallow them up. You see that? It's a balance. The earth was already balanced and we destroyed it. We destroyed the balance. So it's gonna go back to that. What's that?
So, we'll always have a Passover.
We're gonna be doing all the feast days. We're gonna be doing the Sabbath. I'm gonna show y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing the feasts. We're gonna be keeping the customs.
Say kind of like even the extinct animals. You know, like how Esau overhunted and killed some animals,
Yeah.
or put them into extinction. Oh, we only got one white snow tiger left.
Right, we got one left out of the thousands because we want to wear them.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back.
Kinda.
The Most High is gonna find a way to let them replenish and repopulate because they're not gonna just be all wiped out. Esau, he got a hold on everything. Like, oh, there's only 3 left. Well, guess what? Those 3 will find a way to reproduce. If there's a woman in that 3, she'll have some babies.
Yeah.
And if you leave them, the animals alone and let them do what they do naturally, what do they want to do? They want to eat, they want to sleep, and they want to reproduce.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to be doing. So the whole world is going to reproduce. You see that? What verse you at?
Verse 11.
Read on.
And they shall increase and bring fruit,
Right. Bring forth fruit. Go ahead.
and I will settle you
Right.
after your old estates.
He said after your what?
Old estates.
Go ahead.
And will do better unto you than at your beginnings.
Go ahead.
And ye shall know that I am the Most High.
Right. Right. You see that? Go to Zechariah 8 and 5.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 5. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys.
Zechariah 8 and 3. Salakia. Start
Book
at-
of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion,
Come on.
and will dwell in the midst of
So
Jerusalem.
this is in the kingdom, man. He said it. He said that he will be, Yahweh Shai will be our light. Right? He's going to dwell in the midst of us. Go ahead.
And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth.
The city of what?
A city of truth.
Right, because the law shall go forth from Zion. Read.
And the mountain of the Lord of hosts the holy mountain.
Read.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem.
Come on.
And every man with his staff in his hand for very age.
Right, so you're going to be having a staff due to the fact that you're going to be living this long old age. Go ahead.
And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls.
They shall be filled with what?
Boys and girls.
How else are they going to get there? Imagine you step outside your house and it's just children playing. You go into Jerusalem to go do whatever you got to go do in the city. And the city is just filled with children.
Yeah.
And it's just the joy of laughter and playing and kids just, doing what they do with sense. Right? And they the reckless kids, they're just being boys will be boys. No. Kids enjoy and in gladness. Well learned. Kids that have respect. Well mannered. You ain't like, damn, whose baby is this? Because they need a whooping. You're like, damn, whose kid is this? Because they've been taught so well. It said the streets will be filled, man. How else? So they're just going to pop up and it's going to be boys, just little babies just popping up. Oh, he's popped up at the age of 3 into the kingdom. Come on, man. It don't even make no sense. It don't make no sense. Remember, this is a physical kingdom. If there's slavery and punishment, then why wouldn't there be everything else that you need to rebuild the kingdom? Right? So, read on.
And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof.
Right, Isaiah 60 and 22. Imagine letting your kids go out and play and not having to worry about, man, they're about to get kidnapped today. Or, man, y'all don't go too far because there's a creeper down the street. There's a pedophile that lives 4 houses down. Imagine that. Like, man, y'all go play. But guess what? You got a whole forest of land, acreage. Your kids is playing. They out there fishing. They out there running around. They just having fun like kids, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
Not having to worry about like getting shot either.
None of that. None of that stuff is happening. This is our kingdom. This is our kingdom. So none of that stuff is going to be, remember, it says sorrow and pain and death and crying is gone. So I'm not worried about, man, my kids go out to play and they don't come back home. I'm not worried about that. Because that's not going to be even in the equation. Read Isaiah 60 and 22.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22.
Right?
A little one shall become 1,000.
A little one shall become 1,000. How? How? Read.
And a small one, a strong nation.
Right. Hold that. Go to Isaiah 4 and 1. How is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Well, if we understand the scriptures, watch. It's going to tell us Isaiah 4 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And in that day,
Right.
7 women shall take hold of one man.
Right. So these are the days leading up to the kingdom. It said 7 women shall take hold of one man. How do we know it's leading up to the kingdom? Read on.
Say, we will eat our own bread.
Go ahead.
And wear our own apparel.
Right.
Only let us be called by thy name.
Read.
To take away our reproach.
Right. There's not going to be any reproach in the kingdom. So how do we know that that's leading up? Well, because you're not going to get into the kingdom with reproach and then sit there and say, well, let me get a man to take the reproach off me. No. You're going to do that now. You're going to do that now. So guess what's going to happen? Listen, 5 out of those 7 women might not make it. Right? I'm just saying. 2/3 of them will be cut off. So you might have 7 now. And what's going to happen? 5 out of that 7 might not make it. You might only go into the kingdom with your 2 or your 1. But then there's still going to be women in the kingdom that might want to be married.
God.
There goes the replenishing of the nation. There goes the a little one shall become 1,000. Let's talk about 1,000 kids, 1,000 offspring, a small one, a nation. It says what? A small one, a strong nation. How the hell do you? This is. I mean, come on now. When you read about Gideon, it said Gideon had 70 boys. he had 70 sons.
Oh yeah.
It said he had 3 and 10 score sons. I think that's the most sons recorded in the Bible.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Think about it. Solomon had thousands of women and only had one son. He only had one child that's recorded in the scriptures. You see that? But Gideon didn't have 1,000 women, but he had 70 sons. That man was busy. But it's showing you if he could have 70 sons in this whack world, imagine in the kingdom. I mean, what else you gonna be doing?
Chilling.
Chilling. I mean,
Good time.
you're gonna be chilling all that time y'all want, right? That's when you're gonna get it, right? That's when you're gonna get it. So,
Good time.
yes, we're gonna be doing the things that we do here on this earth. We're gonna be doing some of those things in the kingdom. It's gonna be in righteousness. We're gonna bring back. We're gonna fulfill, and all Israel will be saved. We're gonna fulfill that through our works, right? So let's go to the next point. The law is going to go forth from Zion. Go to Isaiah 2 and 2. And if somebody else hold Isaiah 66 and 22. And don't worry, they'll call it back out when they go there. Emery, I see your message. Yes, sir, we'll do that for you. Yeah, that death demon is moving. It's trying. Isaiah 2 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
Go ahead.
And shall be exalted above the hills.
Read.
And all nations shall flow unto it.
Read.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord,
Go ahead.
to the house of the God of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And he will teach us his ways.
He will do what?
Teach us of his ways.
Right, so the nations are going to be wanting to know our ways. They're going to have to follow our ways. Read.
And we will walk in his paths.
Right.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Read.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right. So the law is going to come out of the kingdom, out of that holy city. That's what's going to govern the world. Isaiah 66:22.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 22.
You're going to read the 24. Go ahead.
For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
So shall your seed and your name remain.
Come on.
It shall come to pass that from one new moon to another,
Right.
and from one Sabbath to another.
We're still going to be recording and keep intact of the Sabbath. This is in the kingdom. He said after the new moons and the new heaven and earth is made. He said from new moon to new moon. Now, today is a new moon. You know what's cool about today being the new moon? That means that today is the first of a month. Today is the first of the month.
It's a full moon.
Yeah, today's the new moon. Today is the first of the month. You see that? So you see how they got the time off?
Yeah.
February 1st is what? What day?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. So they are a week behind. Today is the new month. And why is it saying the new moon? Well, during the new moon, if you look through the scriptures, we had a feast on the new moon. Saul did it, right? Remember when David didn't come to the feast of the new moon?
Mm-hmm.
So we did feast. We did observe the new moon feast. There was also a new moon sacrifice when you read in Numbers 28. I think it's like Numbers 28 and verse 9, 10. There was a sacrifice we brought for the new moon. So we did observe it. We did have a feast. You know, we observed it. We ate. We had a feast. You see that? But why is it talking about these things in the kingdom? The new moon, the Sabbath. We're going to be observing these things. Go ahead.
Shall all flesh come to worship before me?
Wait, all flesh is going to come do what?
Worship before me.
Right, so that's talking about Israel and the heathen round about. They're going to have to come up and worship. Read.
Saith the Lord. Verse 24.
Right.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men
Right.
that have transgressed.
That have done what?
Transgressed.
Right, the ones that don't want to serve and follow, they're going to be a carcass in the street. Not in the New Jerusalem, though.
No.
It's gonna be on the outer bands. The nation, watch, we're gonna get into it. Go ahead.
Transgress against me.
Go ahead.
For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
Right, now go to Zephaniah 2 and verse 11. So if they gotta follow the law, they gotta follow our custom. The scriptures tell us we're gonna be doing this Feast of Tabernacles
God.
in the kingdom. So did he just say, oh, we're just gonna do one, basically just one feast and that's it? Nah, man. We're gonna be doing all these feast days. We're gonna still observe and worship the Most High in Christ. But now we're gonna be doing them in its perfection. Read Zechariah 2 and verse 11.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 11.
Right?
And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people.
Wait, he said many nations shall be what?
Joined to the Lord in that day,
Read.
and shall be my people.
Why? Because the nations are gonna have to bow down to what the Most High wants them to do. Are they gonna really be his people?
Wow.
No, it's gonna tell us. Read on.
And I will dwell in the midst of thee.
He said, I will dwell in the midst of thee. He's gonna dwell in Zion. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto thee.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the Lord shall inherit Judah,
You see that? He's gonna inherit Judah. Read.
his portion in the Holy Land,
Right?
and shall choose Jerusalem again.
Right. He's gonna, so Israel and Judah, Jerusalem, Israel, that's gonna be his inheritance. But it said the heathen are gonna be joined to him. Why? Because they're going to be doing the things of the Lord. Go to Zechariah 8 and 20. What's that?
Also, again, the whole world's going to be in righteousness, so there's not going to be no other gods that people are trying to serve or pray to. It's just, there's going to be one power, and it's all going to be known. Everyone on planet Earth is going to know that there's only one power.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do Christmas, New Year's, you serve your gods, Hare Krishna, this, that, Shiva. It's not happening.
John.
I want to be Scientology. It's not happening. I want to be a Christian still. I like Christianity. It was more fun. I just want to be spiritual.
Nah.
You're going to be one of those carcasses in the street.
How does it say that it's gonna be perfectly unified, like it's supposed to be? There
Yeah.
will be no division, no separatism,
Nothing.
no idolism or anything.
It's going to be order and structure.
No feminists?
No ain't gonna be no feminist movement, no Me Too movement, no Black Lives. You think Black Lives Matter gonna be rolling on that? They're gonna be outside picketing the outside of the kingdom.
Nah.
Talking about we want equality.
Trying
Have
to
an angel walk out and stomp their ass all the way out in one stomp.
They're going to insurrect the capital
They're not gonna insurrect Jerusalem. Bro, it's gonna be brothers rolling through there like ninjas. You're gonna be a ninja up in the kingdom. Read Isaiah 8 and 20.
Isaiah or Zechariah?
Zechariah 8 and 20, Salaki.
Zechariah chapter 8, verse 20. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people, and the inhabitants of many cities,
Go ahead.
and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying,
Right.
let us go speedily to pray before the Lord,
Go ahead.
and to seek the Lord of hosts.
Come on.
I will go also.
Read.
Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem.
They're gonna come slide up to them gates and be outside praying. They can't get in, but they're gonna be outside worshiping. Go ahead.
And to pray before the Lord.
Zechariah 14 and 16.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16.
Check this out. Read.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem
Right.
shall even go up from year to year to worship the
They
King.
shall go do what?
Year to year to worship the King.
Well, what happens yearly? The feasts. The feast days. Go ahead.
The Lord of hosts. And to keep the feast of
To
tabernacles.
do what?
And to keep the feast of
You
tabernacles.
read up. This is talking about in the kingdom. I just didn't do the read up because y'all are understanding what we're going over. But when you read up, it's talking about in the kingdom. The Feast of Tabernacles is what? When we live in the booths, right?
Yeah.
So what they gonna do? They gonna pull up and they gonna live outside the walls and damn tabernacles as if it was the wilderness. That's how they gonna do it.
Like tailgate?
It's gonna be like one big nation tailgate. 7 days they're gonna have to live in them booths. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Right?
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem
Right.
to worship the King,
Read.
the Lord of hosts,
Right?
even upon them shall be no rain.
Imagine the Most High in Christ saying, you know what? Oh, so China, y'all don't want to come? Oh, okay, well, guess what? No rain in that region. And we just going to drought you out for 6 months. I bet you they'll come then. I bet you they'll show up at the next feast then. Oh, India? Oh, y'all want to trip out? Oh, okay, well, guess what? No water. We're going to turn all your rivers to blood. We're going to send flies over to you. No, you know what? We're going to send a legion over to you of men. Imagine being a brother that they say, listen, go get them in order in China. And you just ripping through a whole damn city of men, getting them in order, and you putting people to death. What's up?
I got an acronym for what they're gonna be called.
What's that?
The IWANW.
What's that?
I wish a nigga would.
Right. I wish a nigga would crew. I wish a nigga would not come to the damn feast. Think about it. Think about it. When China goes back to China, when the Chinese go back to China and all these people go back to their lands, listen, they're gonna have governors over that land. Like you're gonna govern China. An Israelite is gonna govern China. Just like how Herod governed Israel, you're gonna govern India. You're gonna govern Australia. You're gonna govern North Africa. You're the governor of Egypt. You're the governor of Zimbabwe. You're the governor of this, governor of that. We're gonna govern these lands and rule over these lands. So it's not just you gonna have your slaves. You're gonna be the governor of these lands. It's wild, man. Where we at?
We're gonna do government.
Verse
We're gonna
18.
do government shutdown so we can go on cruises. And then when they waiting for some judgment, you say, oh, you know what? We thought we went and sat in the room for about an hour, and now we gonna take a break, which is gonna be like a 2-week break, and come back and let you know the judgment. We're gonna come back and talk about it again for another hour.
No, yeah, right. Do unto them. No,
Right.
Their judgment is gonna be harsh though. But it ain't gonna be that old. Let's play with your kids and do all that weird stuff. We're just gonna kill you.
Right.
We're just gonna put you to death. Yeah, Matt. Listen, imagine. I just want to fly over to a country that's disobedient.
And do superhero land.
Land. Like Iron Man. Do my Iron Man, my Neo from Matrix.
God.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Read on the Zephaniah.
Verse 18. And if the family of Egypt go not up,
Right?
and come not, that have no rain,
Right?
there shall be the
This
plague.
shall be the what?
Plague.
Right, so, the rain didn't get you? Oh, okay, well, guess what? Here goes some plagues. Frogs, lice, this, that. Read on.
Wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Read on.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt,
Right?
and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Isaiah 66 and 23. And then Isaiah 60 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 23. And it shall come to
Did
pass.
we already read that?
Oh, complicated.
Did we?
Huh.
Isaiah 66 and 23?
Oh, I didn't finish it though.
Oh, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
No, that's it on that.
Okay.
Wait. Where did we read that at? Isaiah.
Wait, no, we did read on
We
it.
did read it.
We did?
Because we were talking about the new moon.
Right, okay, right. I got it there twice. Go to Isaiah 60 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
They shall perish. I mean, that's it. You don't want to serve. You don't want to bow down. It's death. You're going to perish through plagues. You're going to perish through death and destruction. That's it. It's as simple as that. This is not going to be like they get to, like after a time, you know how like a kingdom goes so long that after a time, they get to slide in little spies in, and things start to let up, and then they get to overtake the kingdom. This kingdom is going to be forever, so it's not going to be no, oh, let's give them a chance, or oh, the judgment starts to sway because they got a man in and all of a sudden he was able to pay off a few people. Nah, this is going to be Christ's kingdom. You're not going to be able to sway with money, with riches. We're already going to have everything. We're going to already have all their possessions. So what can you sway us with? What can you bribe us with? Right? So go from there. Right. And this is going to show that we're basically going to just govern the world. We're going to govern all these nations, and we're going to be the governors of the world. Isaiah 9 and verse 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
For unto us a child is born,
Right.
unto us a son is given,
Right.
and the government shall be upon his shoulder,
Right.
and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Read.
Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
Right. His government shall be no end. You can't breach, oh, we're going to breach this government. The prophecy is going to be reversed. Esau's going to be in the neck of their enemies. Remember how it says, Judah, you'll be in the neck of your enemies?
Con.
So all of a sudden now the prophecies are reversed back? No. This time it ain't going to end. Go ahead.
Upon the throne of David
Uh-huh.
and upon his kingdom
Read.
to order
To
it.
do what?
Order it.
Order. Go ahead.
And to establish it with judgments
Uh-huh.
and with
Go
justice
ahead.
from henceforth even forever.
Right.
The zeal of the Most High of Hosts will perform this.
Right. You see the zeal of the Lord, that's what's going to perform it. The zeal of the Lord ain't going to stop because man wants to try to sway him or persuade him. Y'all see this? Psalms 22 and verse 27.
Psalms chapter 22 and verse 27. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn unto the Lord.
Right.
And all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee.
Verse 28.
For the kingdom is the Most High.
Right. You see that? This kingdom is the Lord's. Read.
And he is the governor among the nations.
Right. So he's the main ruler, the main governor. But then we're going to be governors under Yahweh Shai. We're going to be governors under Yahweh Shai, keeping things intact, keeping things in order. It's a beautiful thing. Revelations 2 and verse 26. And then Wisdom of Solomon 8:14, and that's it.
The book of Revelations.
You know, I mean, y'all get the gist. We're going to be in the kingdom chilling. I mean, what else more is it? All you have to do is look at America, take out all the filth, and switch all that stuff with the Bible.
Yeah.
And then switch our place as Israelites with the place of all the nations. And that's the kingdom. That's the kingdom. That's really it. The roles will be reversed. And it's all righteous. There's no filth. There's no disease. There's no death. There's none of that. No deception. No lying. That's really the gist of it. Read where you at.
The book of Revelations chapter 2 verse 26.
Right?
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works
Right.
unto the end,
Come on.
to him will I give power over the nations.
Yeah. What else are you doing it for?
Power over the
You're
nation.
going to have power over the nations, man. Read on.
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
You're going to imagine you ruling a country. Imagine you ruling a country of people. Come on now. Read.
As the vessels of a potter
Right?
shall they be broken to shivers.
That's if they're disobedient. That's it. Oh, no, there ain't going to be no, oh, let's give them a chance. No, you're going to line their noblemen up and put them to death. And then what's going to happen? They either going to fall in or they all going to be wiped out.
You know how that one Edomite lady who killed that black guy in his apartment in Dallas, and then the judge hugged her.
Yeah.
We ain't even be doing that. We can be hugging our. Oh, we can't give them a chance. They're gonna still gonna do the punishment, and we're gonna give them a hug. Like, hey,
No, I don't want to
come here, bring it in.
I'm gonna be hugging my people and sipping on the finest blood of the grape.
Hugging that sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug that. I'm gonna hug that. What do they call it? The helm of the sword. What do they call it?
The hem of the sword.
The helm. I'm gonna be hugging that. I'm gonna be hugging that sword.
Oh, the two. You said two.
Oh, yeah, he does too.
Yeah. Glittery swords, bro. I want my swords to like kill you then revive you.
Right.
Just keep you in pain.
Yeah, that's the worst too.
It kills you, then the other swipe brings you back to life, then it kills you, then it brings you back to life.
But you carry over the pain. You're healed, but it's like that phantom pain.
They did an anime that had swords like
Ah, man, this is still stole my idea.
Tessaiga and Tenseiga.
Really?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, one kills and the other one heals.
Man, I thought I was onto something.
You know the guy from us.
I thought I was onto something. Read, finish that up.
The verse 28.
And Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 14. Go ahead.
Verse 27, last precept. Even as I received of my Father,
Right.
and I will give him the morning star.
No, that's it on that. Wisdom of Solomon 8:14.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 14.
Right?
I shall set the people in order,
Right. Go ahead.
and the nations shall be subject unto me.
All you got to do is go back and read about Solomon's kingdom, his house, the temple, and he had the nation like Hiram. When he needed the cedar wood, right? Who did he go to? He went to him for the cedar. When he needed gold, who did he go to? The nations. When he needed ships, he got ships from the nations. He had a navy.
Yeah.
You see that? He had a navy of ships to be able to travel the seas. And he just went and dealt with the nations the right way in wisdom, and those things were afforded to him. But better yet, look at the peace, the 40 years of peace that he accomplished. There was no fighting. There was none of that stuff under Solomon's reign, and the kingdom was glorious. Tells you, the servants looked like the king. The way they would, Queen of Sheba thought that the door holder was the king. The way he was dressed, the way he looked. Now, you know, my slaves ain't gonna be no glorious garment. They might have like one of my old Passover garments from like 30 years. Nah, they don't. They ain't have no Passover garment. They definitely gonna have some fringes on.
Don't get a Unity t-shirt?
They gonna have they gonna have a black shirt with fringes.
Sackcloth.
Yeah, a sackcloth with fringes on it. Border and blue.
Fringes on it.
Yeah. They're gonna have all that. And they're gonna have the commandments. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. The 10 commandments on their shirt. First they do is they do the 10 commandments. Then they go do their work. Yeah. You gotta be righteous. I mean, you can't have a butt naked working. You want to see that?
Nah, I don't want to see that.
Nah, it wouldn't be righteous.
Nah.
It would be fitting.
So they better not take your clothes.
Having butt naked working on the lawn, just out there itching, stung by bees. Nah.
You gotta cut down the poison ivy.
Yeah, you gotta go cut the poison ivy. You gotta go dig up the ant pits, the fire ant pits today.
God.
I would have just weird things on in my house for them to do.
You gonna say your playlist?
No, in my place, like
Oh.
ant hills for them to dig up. You gonna go dig those up with no shoes on. Fire ants. Ugh. You gonna go chase around the snakes.
Right.
You gonna go clean. Yeah.
But they would still like that.
They probably would.
They do that already.
So this means you make them bathe.
Yeah.
So you don't shower today. No, not a shower.
Please, my lord.
Yeah. Not water. You saw that running from water. Anyway, let's finish it. Let's get up out of here. Read that.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
Horrible tyrants
Right.
shall be afraid when they do but hear of me.
And that's what's going to happen. When we get our rulership, these horrible tyrants are going to be afraid. These kings, these nursing fathers, nursing mothers, they're going to be in submission. If not, we know what's going to happen. Go ahead.
I shall be found good among the multitude,
Right?
and valiant in war.
And this is what Solomon was talking about, just ruling in wisdom does and did for him. He had the world in subjection. He had the nations in subjection. We're going to do the same thing. All right? Any questions on that?
No.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, it's a little 4-part
Series.
Yeah, so now, yep, got another one coming for y'all. Should be pretty good. Remember, we got Purim coming up 24th to 25th, so we won't have class on Wednesday here. They won't have class on Thursday in VA because we're doing the feast day. So we have class on Wednesday, they have class on Thursday, but you won't see us online here in Houston on Wednesday or in VA on that Thursday because we're going to be observing the feast day those 2 days. If you want to come join us, feel free. You know how we do. We'll let you know location and time and what we'll be doing. As the time approaches, remember, Passover is coming up. Start saving money for your Passover garment and for your travel arrangements, please. It's looking like they're going to be letting people travel and gather. They don't care about no Rona or getting sick. They talking about how much is letting up and how they lifted the ban in California. They're letting you eat outside now.
Wow.
They're letting you go to the bar.
Okay.
So hopefully it don't ramp back up by the time Passover hits. So all you got to do is just, we know the Passover garment prices ain't out yet. Just base it off of last year's. Base it off of last year's, whatever you paid, and just start saving the money. All right? Just start saving the money if you can for the travel and for the garment. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad y'all liked it. I liked it. I like doing it. You know, I mean, there's a lot more. I could have made this into like 8 classes. I kind of started in the middle. But there was a bunch of stuff that happened, that's going to happen, prophecies that are going to happen before the day of the Lord that we didn't go into, you know. But, yeah, you know, so thank y'all for joining us. We will be back here on Saturday. All right, they'll got class in VA Thursday, tomorrow. All right, so if that's it. Let's salute everybody online. Let's say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. We'll see y'all Saturday. Can somebody stop that for me? Okay.